Getting excited all over again as I count down my fancy playlist. I'm getting fired up about this thing, boy. Going back, I created this thing. It's fun. It's fun. I created it. Yes. Fancy playlist of January 31st, 1993. God, I need a cold shower. It's something to eat. Number 24. Holding from 24 the week before, Soul Asylum. Somebody to shove. Now this is interesting about how I did this fancy playlist. I just noticed this. I got a lot of my R&B records together. For example, at number 31 I got Whitney Houston, 30 In Vogue, and then 29 Stephanie Mills. And I did it earlier with Jade at number 39, Positive K at number 38, and Bobby Brown at number 37. And now I got some of my rock acts together, like Genesis at 26, Extreme at 25, and Soul Asylum at number 24. Soul Asylum, gosh dog. Nice to hear this record again. Big alternative hit, Somebody to Shove by Soul Asylum, but was not a pop crossover by any means. But I got it on my fancy playlist. And Soul Asylum, this song, well, Soul Asylum, they're from Minneapolis, and the record Somebody to Shove was written by Dave Pirner, Pirner, the lead singer, frontman of Soul Asylum. The album is called Grave Dancers Union. This was the album that put Soul Asylum right on the map. The album, they started working on the album in 1991. Now, here's the thing. And I'm going to try to piece this together as best as I can for you. Try to do this in an organized manner. The producer of this album was named Michael Benhorn. He was not happy with Grant Young, the drummer of Soul Asylum. He was not happy with the way he was performing during the recording sessions. Therefore, Benham brought in, at Soul Asylum, they brought in a crack session drum player. His name was Campbell. Sterling Campbell. Sterling Campbell played with Cyndi Lauper. He also joined Duran Duran back in 1987, and he also played with David Bowie, backed up David Bowie for about 14 years, and he was hired as a session drummer. Just a session drummer. He wound up playing on half the tracks on this album, including their big hit off the album called Runaway Train. I'll get into Runaway Train in just a minute. Therefore, the way this thing worked, Grant Young played on half the tracks, and Sterling Campbell played on the other half. Sterling Campbell eventually replaced Grant Young as drummer of Soul Asylum. Now let's talk about the records. Somebody to Shove was a big alternative hit. And then there was Black Gold. God, if I remember correctly, Black Gold rocked. This was around the spring of 1993, back when Stone Temple Pilots came out with Plush and Sex Type Thing, and then there was Alice in Chains doing the Rooster. Megadeth was sweating bullets. Oh, yes. God dog it. I remember the spring of 1993 watching those videos on MTV. And also Black Gold by Soul Asylum. I believe was the name of the record. It rocked. But then there came Runaway Train. Runaway Train was huge. It just blew up in the summer of 1993. It was our big crossover hit for Soul Asylum. It made Grave Dancers Union into a mega album. Went platinum 3 times over. 76 weeks on Billboard's album charts. Not near as much as Pink Floyd's Dark Side of the Moon, but 76 weeks on the album charts in America or any country in the world is pretty impressive. I believe that's all I got to say about this record. I covered all my notes. All the bases are covered. Let's get to the record. Number 24 on my fantasy playlist, Soul Asylum with Somebody to Shove.